Projects that are looking at us. One is a major solar facility up off Tehachapi, Bull Springs Road, just north of Bacchus. And the second one would be in some land between Hamilton and Rosamond, west of 90th, in that area. Both solar projects are in excess of 200 kVA, and that they would basically require recycled water that we would extend to them. They would recycle the water, and then it would go back in to be recharged back into the ground, which would then give it future storage. Both projects are working with Edison for long-term commitments to get on the grid, and then we'll start their permit processing with the county and with the California Energy Commission. Both companies are well financed. They're both experienced. One is a U.S. corporation and the other is a European corporation that's very much involved in U.S. projects, both solar and wind.
Mm-hmm. When would they start?
My gut feeling is it would take about 2 years to go through the engineering permit processing. They would probably look to start construction in late 2010, early 2011, and then come online within the next, by 2012 to 2014, which has a demonstration project in Lancaster now of 7.5 megawatt facility. Is looking to see if they could develop a 42 megawatt facility on 160 acres adjacent to our waste treatment plant in this area. That would do two things. One, it would use our recycled water from the plant, and two, it would give us electricity for our plant and then sell the balance to the grid for Edison. And we'll be going into discussions on the feasibility of that project. The board has instructed us to look at both solar and wind to see what we could do in order to make Rosamond itself and the CSD more energy efficient and actually provide leadership in becoming green.
Elections in the RMAC are coming up.
Yes, they are. Yes,
and you're going to rerun.
Yes, I'm going to run for office again, second time.
And what will your plans be for the new term?
Well, what I would like to do is that some of the projects that we've kind of looked at as far as helping the growth of Rosamond, and what I mean by that, the county's talked about looking at Rosamond for future growth.
Yeah.
And what I would like the MAC to be involved in is helping place things so we just don't have sporadic growth as far as businesses and houses popping up. So we have controlled, smart growth for our community to get more facilities for the kids here, to make sure that we're protecting the interests of our water rights here for the community.
And then on the count of three, you're going to go ahead and step. 1, 2, 3.
All right. Modi, what does it feel like to finally get this underway?
Oh, we have a lot of work already being done, and hopefully the rest of it is going to be done really soon. And it feels great, especially that I have the great support of my good friends and partners, and the great support of the current county, in the shape of Don Maven.
Yeah.
And I want to thank them all very much.
Okay, Mr. Maven, you encouraged this young man early on, and he actually followed through.
Yes, he did, and he's produced a beautiful sign, and the gateway now has a gateway, which is fantastic.
And some proof of real progress.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Thank you. And how is it on the home front? Pretty good?
Very busy.
Busy.
Chief Harut Amasin, I'm Moti's partner. And we decided to do a great sign for the county and the city. And we did not cut back on anything. We came through whatever we promised the Supervisor Maven. We followed through, not cutting corners or anything. And we put up there the sign that's state of the art.
Yes.
And we had it made in Japan rather than China. And we spent extra money to get a LED quality.
Yeah.
So.
And it's so good, you know, every time I drive by it, I want to vote for Supervisor Maven, but he's not running.
Well, we might change it on that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And how about you, sir? Could I get your name?
I'm one of the partners with Modi and Harut, and I second everything they said. Thanks for the community support.
Yes.
And let's get the sign up and rolling.
Uh-huh.
We're seeing our DUI up, our traffic collisions are down, our motor services are down, how many vehicles that we contact on the road are down. I imagine that's all just because of the volume of traffic's down. I worked graveyards in July. I went from Tehachapi towards, well, actually it was Mojave towards Boron. We went 18 miles and we didn't see another car coming westbound. That's unheard of. I think it's very important to remind the officers as much as it is the public of who we work for. I think a lot of times we forget who we work for because we always contact people in more of a negative light, but I need to remind the officers as well as the public that we need to meet them in a positive light and be more informative and answer questions more than we see in more of an enforcement type action. Instead of writing tickets, there's other ways to do it.
Involved with the community of Rosamond since the early 90s, been president of the Rosamond Chamber of Commerce, and have been selling real estate in this community for quite some time. The Rimac is part of the government agency in the community, and we have to have input in how it's developed and what's done in our area.
Your board speedily approved about a $6 million budget tonight. Did you make some comments about that?
Well, it was a budget that it's going to take us into the future. It included some raises for our employees that I felt that were long overdue. It also included some very ambitious endeavors into water banking, drilling new wells, trying to secure water for the future of Rosamond. Aggressive Parks and Recreation program to benefit the community of Rosamond. And we were able to do this without really hurting the progress of the district.
It's on a unanimous board approval tonight. What's in store for the district?
To take the mission and the concept of what the board wants, the vision, and to move it forward, to implement it so that we can provide good services for the residents of Rosamond in water, sewer, parks, recreation, and others, and help the community grow in a positive way.